Ayubowan, dear Dhamma friends. This is the third episode of Buddha's Similes and Smiles. Today we are going to talk about conceit. This simile, the Buddha taught this simile for a group of monks while he was teaching about Ummagga Jataka story. A story which related to one of the past lives of the Buddha. The Buddha taught this simile to a group of monks. During one lifetime of the Buddha, he was born as the Prime Minister of King Vedeha in India. At that time, there was a peculiar chameleon which lived closer to the royal palace. The royal entrance, it was this chameleon's beautiful home. It always stayed on the top of that entrance. Whenever it see the king approaches the royal entrance, that chameleon's habit was to climb down and bend his head and salute the king. The king noticed this behavior of this peculiar chameleon for several times and asked his prime minister why it is doing so. Then the prime minister said, he gave a very careful answer. He said, maybe it might have a kind of past relationship with you. That's why this chameleon is behaving like that. The king was amazed. At the same time, he was curious and pleasant about this peculiar chameleon. So what he did was, he asked his prime minister to give one gold coin to a certain person and ask that person to provide some meat for this chameleon. Following the order of the king, the prime minister asked one person to provide some meat for this chameleon. The person who took responsibility, he continued to do so for a long period of time. But one day something unexpected happened. He tried to find some meat for the chameleon, but on that day, unfortunately, he couldn't find any meat. So he was so afraid of uncompleting the royal order. Therefore, what he did was, he took the gold coin and he made a pendant using that gold coin, and then he tied that pendant around the neck of this chameleon. Because of this incident, the chameleon became so proud. It thought that it is also a worthy person, and at the same time it is also a wealthy person. Due to some kind of a royal duty, the king wanted to go somewhere outside. When he reached the royal entrance, he noticed something. The chameleon didn't get down didn't climb down from the royal entrance. It stayed proudly on the top of the royal entrance. Then the king was again curious and asked the Prime Minister why. Why didn't the chameleon, who usually got down seeing the king, didn't get down this time? Then the Prime Minister, he answered, "Sir, my opinion is, what I think is, now it has developed a concept, because it has something to be proud of, because it has a golden pendant around its neck. It thinks that it is rich, so it is not going to get down and salute you this time." The king understood. He smiled and went away. This is how the world is. There are three kinds of conceits. Conceit that we develop according to the superiority. Conceit that we develop according to the similarity. Conceit that we develop according to the inferiority. If someone is more richer, more powerful, more educated, more respected than you, you develop a conceit towards that person. That conceit is called as the conceit of superiority, atimana. Then there are people who are similar to you by wealth, by power, by education, etc. At that point too, you develop a certain kind of conceit. That is called the conceit of similarity, sahamana. There are people who have lesser education, lesser power, and lesser abilities than you. Towards him, you develop a conceit of inferiority. These are the three kinds of conceits that you develop, because you are always used to compare people with you. That's why you react to them in those ways. Whenever we react in these three ways, we need to understand it's a way of reaction out of delusion. It has delusion inside. In reality, we need to thoroughly understand that nobody is higher, nobody is similar, and nobody is inferior according to the nature of you. We all have same kind of atoms. We all have same nature of thoughts. Maybe according to the situations, our point of views go different, but the nature of a thought, it's each and every thought arises to pass away. This nature, it doesn't differ. Every atom arises in everyone's body to pass away. This nature doesn't differ. So we need to understand that no use of measuring people from their outside belongings. We need to show our compassion. We need to treat each and everybody equally, understanding the reality. If you work with conceit, if you react with conceit, it only brings you harm. It only brings you negative emotions. That's it. How to come out of this conceit? The first way is you can think of impermanence. I am also a person with a changing mind and a changing body. Whenever you mindfully think so, your conceit goes away. Second way is thinking about karma. We get these abilities, these possessions, these belongings, these capabilities because of our past karmas. When those karmas go away, we don't know what we might become, who we might become, what will happen to us. Thinking so, we have to come out of this concept. Don't be like the foolish chameleon. Whatever the capabilities you do have, whatever the richnesses you do have, use those things for the good of others, for the good of yourself too. At the same time, please understand, what you have today, it might change tomorrow. A rich man, who knows, one day that person become a homeless person. Maybe we are so healthy now, who knows, one day we might become very sick. Even though we are alive now, we are bound to die one day. This is the reality of our life. No use of developing conceit towards the others. Be very humble. Be very kind. Be very compassionate. Develop a mind with real peace, with real happiness. Try to purify your mind from all these kinds of defilements, and may all of you attain and enjoy Nibbana, the freedom, the eternal freedom, the eternal happiness. May all of you be healthy, happy and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.